Hello dear viewers, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Welcome back to my channel IELTS and English Advanced with Muhammad Asif. I am Professor Asif Iqbal once again with you. I have been away for about a week because I was stuck in some serious business, my personal business. So I'm back again. Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to share with you one of the most challenging, considered as the most challenging question, but it's easy if we come up with some strategy. That is IELTS reading question, matching headings with the paragraph. Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to facilitate it for you, and you will no more find it challenging or difficult questions, since I will share with you some very handy and authentic strategies to approach this type of question. Alright, so let's proceed with the rest of the lesson. Okay, dear viewers, so here we are with the question that's matching headings with paragraph in IELTS reading test. So in today's class, these are our subtopics. First of all, we will discuss the two possible strategies to approach this question, and secondly, we will discuss the useful information on that. Third, we will look at the key problems the students face while attempting this question, and next we will come up with the key tips to approach this question. Next, we will discuss the strategy number 1 and the steps to follow, and lastly we will apply the strategy on practice test 1 from authentic source. Okay, so generally there are two strategies people utilize to approach this question. One is reading the text first and then the heading, and the second one is reading the heading first and then the text. Well, as per the experience of the IELTS experts, the first strategy is the easiest, and the reason is that's why we say adopt this strategy, and also in addition to that, we advise you to attempt this question first. Okay, if you are given because you have a text, and based on that text this is one of the questions, but also you have two other questions based on the same text. So if you attempt this question first, so then you have done 90% of your job, because it becomes easy for you. As you can see, I'll show you here. Okay, number one, advantage one is you will have understood the main ideas of the text by the time you get to other questions. Okay, and second, it is time saving strategy. All right, this thing, because if you know the main idea of the text, of the whole text, then it becomes quite easy for you to approach the rest of the questions based on the same text. All right, okay, now the useful information you need to bear in mind is that headings do not follow the order of the text and are listed randomly. Okay, because if they are not listed randomly, then there is no assessment at all. Then you will follow the same order, and you can match them with the paragraphs without even looking into the paragraphs. Okay, second, get to the general idea or the main idea of each paragraph. Okay, these are the key points. I have highlighted them, not the specific details. Okay, do not make this mistake. Okay, now sometimes the first few lines of the paragraph can give you its main idea, but not always. Okay, and that main idea is contained in the topic sentence, and also you have to look at the concluding sentence as well, if the concluding sentence exists at all, because sometimes that's missing. And also the topic sentence is not always the first sentence of the paragraph. It can be the second and even the third one, but it does exist. You have to look out. Okay, so that's what I said about the topic sentence and the concluding sentence, and that concluding sentence can be missing. All right. Now, before coming up with the solution, with the treatment, uh, we need to understand the key problems which the students generally face while attempting this question. Okay, so we need to diagnose those problems, the illness, okay, before coming up with treatment. Okay, the first thing is there are more headings than the paragraphs. Of course, then there is no fun if it's not there. Okay, so what happens is, as a result, it's harder to narrow down the correct ones. Okay, and that's real fun, by the way. And second, it's easy to confuse specific details in a paragraph with the main idea. All right, sometimes what you consider as the main idea, well, that's not the main idea. In fact, that's the supporting details or the specific details. Okay, so be vigilant on them. So they may be different from the main idea. Okay. And third, synonyms in paraphrasing is often used. Well, in many of my videos related to listening or reading, I have always reminded you, advised you to be vigilant about this point, that IELTS is in reading and listening, it's all game of paraphrasing, and IELTS is very big on paraphrasing. Okay, so that's why you need to look out for synonyms, okay, to understand the main idea, and that's in fact your real test. Okay, so keywords of headings, because you will be looking for the keywords in the headings, and then you will move to the paragraph with the hope of finding those words. Well, you will not find the same words, you will find the synonyms of them, and you have to find them out. You have to, that's when you understand the main idea of the passage. Okay, and you do a careful reading. And number 4 is there's a lot of information to process in short time. Okay, reading is the test of time. Okay, you have no time here. Time is your enemy, in fact, here. So practice a lot. The solution is to practice a lot of skimming and scanning skills. Okay, and particularly to approach this question, you need skimming as well as you need scanning skills. Okay, now we come up with the treatment. I mean the key tips to approach this question. First of all, cross out each heading as you match it. Okay, why? Because this way you will eliminate it from further consideration as you move on to other paragraphs. All right, so if you do not cross it out and you are already done with it, so it will complicate the situation. It will put you in trouble. Second, work through the paragraphs in order. The most significant point here is, first of all, attempt paragraph 1, then paragraph 2, then 3, and so on. Okay, in order. But move on. Do not stop. If you are unable to match the heading to paragraph number 1, for example, well, do not get stuck there. Okay, you may return to it by the end, because by the end you will be left with very few headings, and it will be relatively easier for you to decide which heading in fact match with the one you couldn't match in the beginning. All right, so if you are struggling to find the heading, the heading match, okay, so return to it once you have eliminated, narrowed down your search. And number 3 is highlight if you see some proper nouns in headings. Yeah, because this is what IELTS cannot change, cannot paraphrase, because proper nouns have to be the same as in the headings, similarly in the paragraphs. It helps to locate easily, but you will be lucky to have them if they ever exist. All right. Okay, now steps in strategy number 1. So first of all, never read the headings first. read the text first. That's the bottom line. Read the instructions carefully. In all IELTS reading questions, this is the first thing you have to do. Okay. Number 2, do not look at the headings in the beginning. As I said before, that will be a blunder if you follow strategy number 1. Okay. Then number 3, focus on first one or 2 sentences and the last one. Okay, so what you need to do, skim read the rest of the text. No detailed reading at all. Keep it in your mind. Okay. These usually identify main idea, as I said before, the first 2 sentences and sometimes the third one. Okay. And number 4, summarize the main idea in a short phrase. Summarize it and then shortly, briefly write it beside that paragraph. You can say at the bottom or at the top of that paragraph to remember that you're done with it. Okay. Write it beside the paragraph to remember. And number 5, read carefully. Okay, you have written it beside the paragraph in pencil, and then you move to the headings and find out the best match with that paragraph. Okay, read carefully the list of all headings, not few. Okay, match your summary of the first paragraph which you have written beside the paragraph to one of the headings. All right. And sometimes there will be distractors. For example, if you think like number 2, heading number 2 or 3 matches with the paragraph number 1, well, and then you do not go through all the headings, well, that heading may probably not be the best match. In fact, that may be a distractor. All right, so this number 5 is the most important point here. Okay. So there may be 2 headings because there are additional headings. So some of them will not be required at all. They will be just distractors. Fine? Okay. Number 6, repeat this process. Okay, whatever you saw here, repeat it for all paragraphs. That's the strategy. Turn-wise. Number 7, if you get stuck on a paragraph, as I discussed before, return to it once you have fewer headings left, because in this way you will be left with fewer headings. You will have narrowed down your search and it will become easy. What you seem difficult in the beginning will become easy. And number 8, in case of similar headings, okay, now you are confused. So what you should do, write the same paragraph number beside each heading. The same paragraph number. For example, you can see here, we will once we have started the practice, you will see it practically. For example, A1. Okay, now there is paragraph A, and you see there are 2 headings similar. So with one heading, you can write A1, for example, which you think is closer. So you can write A1 beside that heading. And another one you can write A2. Like for paragraph A, this is your first choice. You think this is also matching, or you think this one is also matching. So this is the second one. So both these you can write beside that heading. Okay, to remember. Fine. Number 9, eliminate used headings. Okay, you can simply cross through them. Maybe when you come back at the end and you think, oh, it was also to be utilized, it was also one of the matches. Okay, but for the time being you can eliminate it. Fine. So in this way you can cross through it to narrow down the search. That's the purpose. And number 10, read carefully the list of all headings. All, well, this is the most important word, the key word. All headings. Once you are matching them, match your summary of the first paragraph to one of the headings. All right. So there may be 2 headings very similar in meaning. Fine. Okay, now is the time to apply whatever we have discussed so far practice test 1. Okay, so this is how you get the instruction. You should spend it's written, you should spend about 20 minutes on question 27 to 30. Okay, which are based on reading passage 3 below. For example, reading passage 3, generally it's reading passage 3, and the most difficult passage, in fact the last one, because gradually the difficulty level increases in IELTS reading. Okay, now the instructions are given like this. Okay, reading passage 3 has 7 paragraphs A to G. Okay, from the list of headings below, choose the most suitable heading for each paragraph. Okay, then write the appropriate numbers like 1 to 10 in boxes 27 to 33 on your answer sheet. So you can do anything. You can play around your question paper. Well, that will not be checked. Okay, to facilitate yourself. But then you have to come up with the chosen answer while moving the answers on to the answer script. Fine. Now the title of the passage, well, that's very important. Pay first attention to the title. Okay, for example, the revolutionary bridges of Robert Meliort, Swiss engineer Robert Meliort. Well, that's the first heading, and then the smaller heading, that is Swiss engineer Robert Meliort built some of the greatest bridges of the 20th century. His designs elegantly solved a basic engineering problem: how to support enormous weights using a slender arch. Okay, now this is the soul of the whole passage that you will be looking at right now. Okay, so after that, what you should do. Okay, now you are moving on. This is paragraph number 1. Okay, now that's strategy. What you have to do, well, here you will see them underlined, but in fact I didn't intend to underline them. Here we have the headings from 1 to 10, and what you should do. Okay, what do you think can be the main idea? Well, here we don't have this much time during the course of sharing this strategy with you, but I will ask you, for example, if you quickly go through it, so what comes to your mind? What is the general idea, the main idea of the text? Reading the first 2 sentences or 3 sentences, and then the last one, the conclusion, if it exists at all. Okay, and then moving on to the headings quickly and trying to match. Okay, what probably is the general idea? Okay, I cannot afford to give you this much time because we have many headings here. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here. Okay, that's the main idea here. Describe the remarkable change in communication routes owing to the invention of the automobile. Well, you are not going to write such a long phrase, but shortly, with the help of this main idea, you will write here at the bottom of the paragraph the heading, just the heading. This is the main idea. Based on that main idea, what comes to your mind, you will write down here the heading in your own words, okay, to remember, and then move on to the paragraphs, to the headings, to match which one matches with the heading that came to your mind based on this main idea. All right, so here, as we look at the main idea, what comes to our mind here is where does it exist, this main idea? Well, in the first sentence, that is the topic sentence, and the second sentence as well. Okay, it is there. Fine. So now what happens? The first one, why is first one not the best match? Because that's altogether irrelevant. Now keep looking here, keep following these headings now. Okay, what about the second one? It says nothing on a celebrated achievement. There is nothing like this in the passage. Third one, altogether irrelevant. All right. Fourth one, altogether irrelevant. Fifth one, The basis of a new design is born. That's also irrelevant. And sixth one, frustration at never getting the design right. Well, that's also altogether irrelevant. And then the seventh one, altogether irrelevant. So you will be going through all these while you are working on it, and you will come to know which one is not required. And then the eighth one is also irrelevant. So you will be narrowing down your search like this, okay? And then the ninth one is irrelevant, but the last one is relevant. That's the heading that matches transport development spark a major change, okay? Here, the invention of the automobile created an irresistible demand for paved roads. Fine, here we find it. You see that? This is where we have the main idea. Fine. Now coming to paragraph B. Well, what's the main idea? What do you think? Where is it? Where does it exist, in fact, in the passage? Okay. Now the main idea, as I can see, is to identify an entirely innovative and novel method of bridge making. Based on this, you can write down in short phrase form the heading of this passage in your own words, and then move to the headings and trying to match and narrowing down your search, narrowing down like we did before. Okay. Now this main idea is in the first sentence. That is fortunately the first one, the topic sentence. Okay, as you can see underlined there. Okay, now the first one, there is nothing about long-term impact in it. Okay, in this paragraph. Second one, it says nothing on celebrated achievement. Third one, altogether irrelevant. Fourth one, not mentioned anywhere in the paragraph. Fifth one, just a distractor. Well, these distractors are in fact destructors. They destroy you. They destroy your time and effort. Fine. That seems similar to the heading we are looking for, but in fact that's a distractor. That's a fun. Okay. Now the sixth one, no information on frustration and designing. Okay. Seventh, altogether irrelevant. And then the ninth one, altogether irrelevant. The 10th one, this is another distractor. Okay. And that's why this B is challenging here. We have two distractors here. Okay. But in fact the 8th one is the real heading, different in all respects when we look at the main idea. Okay, that's the best match here. And then paragraph C. Okay, now what's the main idea here? Well, the main idea is to mention the foundation of a completely newly designed bridge. Fine. And where is it? It's in the second sentence. You see, it's not always the first sentence, because the main idea is generally in the topic sentence, and also the concluding sentence can help us if it's there at all. Okay. Now let's move to the headings. Nothing about long-term impact in this paragraph. Okay. 2, it says nothing on celebrated achievement. 3, altogether irrelevant. 4, not mentioned anywhere. 5, okay, we will come to it. 6, frustration, no, altogether irrelevant. 7, altogether irrelevant and a distractor. 8th one. 9th one is irrelevant. 10th one is, so here again we have two distractors which seem similar to the actual heading we are looking for, and that is number 5. The basis of a new design is born. Okay, now look at the main idea, to mention the foundation of a completely newly designed bridge. Fine. So that's why I'm repeating this process with all the paragraphs so that it gets fixed in your mind. Okay, now another paragraph D here. Well, the as I look at it, I come up with the main idea, and that is to sorry, to describe the failure of Miller's early achievement. All right. Now, based on that, you can write down the heading of it at the bottom of the paragraph. Okay. First one. Okay. Now, where is that? That's in the third sentence. You see, because of course that's the topic sentence, and that's where it is. Okay. Number one is irrelevant. Number two says nothing on celebrated achievement, and okay, three, we will come to it. Fourth, a distractor. Why? As the whole paragraph does not speak of outdated methods at all. Fifth one, irrelevant. Sixth one is the paragraph doesn't mention frustration. Seventh one is again another distractor as it's not related to initial achievement. Fine. Eighth, irrelevant. Ninth, altogether irrelevant. And 10, irrelevant. Now, 3 is the best match. Early brilliance passes unrecognized. It wasn't noticed. In fact, it should have been noticed, but it didn't. Okay, now because that matches the main idea to describe the failure of Miller's early achievement. Okay. Okay, coming to F, paragraph F. Well, the main idea of it is to mention that Miller's most successful and recognized breakthrough during his later career. And where is it? It's in the first and the last sentence. Okay, you see, they help you. You have to look at the concluding, the last sentence of the paragraph. Don't forget it. If it exists, you will find it. You will be able to find it out. Okay, now coming to the headings. First one, irrelevant. Third one, irrelevant. Fourth, irrelevant. 5, irrelevant. 6, irrelevant. 7, irrelevant. 8th, irrelevant. Similarly, all of them irrelevant. Nothing about them in the paragraph. But the second one is the best match, a celebrated achievement, because that touches the idea in the contained in the main idea. Okay, a celebrated achievement, like you see, to mention that Miller's most successful and recognized. You see, here it is written in the heading celebrated achievement. Now you do not expect that you will find the word celebrated. Okay, no, you will not be able to find it out, but you will find different words here. Okay, in the passage, when you go to the passage, you will not find celebrated. They will have paraphrased it. Okay, that's what I meant in the beginning when I was asking you to pay attention to synonyms and paraphrasing. All right, now G. Okay, the main idea here is to mention the ultimate strong influence of Miller's last developments on coming generation of designers. Okay, and where is it? It's in the second last sentence. You see, even the first sentence sometimes does not help you that much. I mean, sorry, the first or second, third sentence that is known as the topic sentence may not be that much helpful. Okay, you have to quickly go through the specific details and particularly the last sentence, okay, to come up with some probable main idea. Okay, to mention the ultimate strong influence of Miller's last developments on coming generation of designers. Well, that's the main idea. And what we do here, first one, irrelevant, all of them. Okay, we will see where is the distractor. Now third one, distractor, as it's not all about the basis of new design. Well, that has been discussed, but it's not all about it. Okay, fine. Then these are all irrelevants, and the first one, sorry, that's the match. The long-term impact is the best match here. Okay. Okay. So that was everything about matching the headings with the paragraphs, and the best strategy, the authentic strategy. Even if you go through the online channels, the authentic IELTS experts, they will all agree. But still, it varies from student to student. Well, some students, maybe very few students, may be comfortable with strategy number 2. Okay, matching the headings first and then the paragraphs. Well, they can utilize that strategy, but generally the students are comfortable with this strategy, and it is time saving. Above all, it is time saving. Okay, and it is useful for you to follow up this strategy. Okay. Okay, dear viewers, I do hope you have benefited from today's lesson and have gained some developed some concept on how to approach this type of question that is considered a challenging question. Alright, but still I will advise you, as I always do, practice a lot, as much as possible, okay? Because that's the only way to make you perfect, particularly in reading and listening modules. You need a lot of practice, alright? And please comment on my work, whatever I share with you, so that I can improve upon my coming work. And the videos that I've already made, you can find the links to those in the description below. And the students who are who could be interested in my online sessions, more interactive and advanced sessions, they can find my WhatsApp contact in the description, so they can approach me. So please do subscribe my channel so that you can automatically keep receiving my coming videos in your mail, and share with your friends, with your relatives, social circle. That's it. See you in my next videos, inshallah. Okay, thank you very much.